All right, we're recording.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to the workshop. So, hello, I am Lupita, and this is Daniela, and will be the facilitators for this workshop over the next 6 weeks. So, like all of you, we are here because we either have a chronic health condition or we live with or are close to someone who does. This program was originally developed as a part of a rigorous research project at Stanford University, and the research results showed that that program helps people with chronic conditions. That is why this workshop is offered. So we will all introduce ourselves shortly, but let's go over our guidelines in the workshop first. So give me a moment and I will share my screen. Okay. Um, Here we go. The guidelines. So before, this is our session for our agenda for today. So introductions, and these are the different topics that we will be discussing. Okay, and I can come back to this here in just a moment. But for today, the guidelines. Okay. So Daniela, will you read those out loud?
Mm-hmm. So the first one is come to every session. And we would like you to, we'll try to be promptly. So let's be on time.
Okay.
Number 2 is be respectful of others and their ideas. So this means don't talk over or interrupt others. Also, allow everyone a chance to talk, and it's okay to disagree. The third is to maintain confidentiality. So personal information shared in the group stays here in the group. So we as leaders will not share anything unless there may be, and I'm so sorry, and we leaders will not share anything unless there may be harm to self or others. 4 is give any new activities at least a 2-week trial. So before deciding which tools work best for you, give it at least 2 weeks. And then number 5 is make and complete a weekly action plan. So we'll be making and talking more about this at the end of the session. And each week we'll be making an action plan. And number 6 is turn off or silence electronic devices. So just to be respectful of others. And I know sometimes on our computers there's dings and bings, so we'll try to just manage that. So those are our guidelines.
Okay, thank you, Daniela, for sharing that. Okay.
Yes.
And so we are all here because we want to learn how to better manage our chronic health conditions. It's important to understand that both our role and the role of our healthcare providers' role, it changes when we are dealing with chronic physical conditions or mental health issues like diabetes, arthritis, or even chronic depression. So rather than choosing your treatment for you, like with the flu or a broken leg, the provider becomes a teacher and an advisor. So we become partners responsible for managing our condition on a daily basis and informing the provider of our treatment preferences. So our healthcare providers aren't with us every day, and yet we have to manage our chronic condition every day. So, how we live our life each day affects our symptoms and our health and our quality of life. So, no matter what we do, we have a choice of whether to be a passive manager or an active manager. As a passive manager, we could choose to do nothing and gradually just lose the ability to do the things that we want. But as an active manager, we can work on improving or maintaining our health in order to keep or even regain what has been important to us and in our lives. So by being in this workshop, you have chosen to be an active manager. But to actively manage, we must be willing to take on 3 self management tasks. So let me talk about those self management tasks as I show the screen. Okay, so the first thing of our self management tasks, give me one moment, is to take care of our health condition. Daniela?
Yes. So this means such as taking our medicine, exercising, going to our healthcare providers, changing the way we eat. Also, keeping informed about our status, so asking questions, reading, and so on. And when necessary, carrying information from one provider to another. Also, taking part in planning our treatment program by monitoring and reporting on our condition and sharing our preferences and goals with the physician and all other members of our healthcare team.
Okay, and the second thing is to carry out normal activities.
Yes, so this means chores, employment, social life, and so on. So doing things in life that we like and that are important to us, this may mean changing the way we do things. So for example, using a garden stool on wheels or having prepared dinners in the freezer for times we are not feeling up to cooking.
Okay, and the third thing is to manage emotional changes.
Yes, so changes brought about by our illness, such as anger, uncertainty about the future, changed expectations and goals, and sometimes depression. So changes can also happen in our relationships with family and friends. So knowing that there will be emotional ups and downs, and that the downs are not pits to crawl out of, but actually they're natural ups and downs that we all have in life.
Exactly. Okay. Oops. So before we start discussing some of the self-management tools that we're going to be learning in this workshop, we would like for all of us to introduce ourselves now. So in your introduction, here's what we would like for you to tell us. We want to know what your first name is or your nickname. What would you like for us to call you? What your health condition is, if you wish to share it. And if you yourself do not have one, what is the condition that your loved one is managing? And then we would like to hear one or two problems that your chronic health condition has caused you. So rather than telling us like symptoms like fatigue or pain, tell us how those symptoms have affected your life. So I'll go first, and then Daniela will introduce herself, and then we'll go around. Okay. So for me, I have both. I have a chronic condition, which is asthma, and it really impacts my life by the activities that I am able to do or not do. But I'm also was a caregiver, and when I was a caregiver, that also created immense stress in my life, and that created a lot of uncertainty. So the problems that it created was uncertainty and fear, as well as limited activity. So Daniela, please introduce yourself, and if you don't mind, what are your conditions and what are one or two problems that it's caused you?
Hello, everyone. I am Daniela Gurule, and at times I experience severe anxiety. So that really bums me out and it prevents me from doing the things that I want to do sometimes. So again, just kind of can bring on depression and just kind of makes me want to hide. So
Okay.
thank
Well,
you.
thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Daniela. Okay, so as I get these up on the board, if we wouldn't mind everybody just going around the room and introducing yourself. So again, tell us your first name, what would you like to be called? What is your condition or your loved ones, and one or two problems that it has caused you. Daniela, if you can help me facilitate that, calling on
Okay.
people.
So we're just going to go down in order that I see everyone. So next one up is Jasmine.
Yeah, so my name is Jasmine. I don't have a chronic disease, but I do get migraines. I was involved in a car accident last year and had a concussion, so I do get chronic migraines, and it impacts my life. I have a 2-year-old son, and so sometimes it can be really difficult to play with him and be on mommy duty all the time. So yeah, so that's how it impacts my life. I will go ahead and pass it along to I see Gail who's next to me.
Thank you.
All right. It was
You're
Gail
on.
you introduced, Jasmine? Okay, my name is Gail. My chronic condition is I have scoliosis. So the problem that creates for me is sometimes limited mobility, and particularly in terms of things that I can lift. The other one is I'm a caregiver, but I'm a caregiver of a teenager. So the challenges that I have being a caregiver for a teenager is a constant conflict. Communication is how to communicate best when you're dealing with conflict. And sometimes we don't always work things out well because of how we communicate or don't communicate to each other. And the person I would see next to me is, I think, iBrother.
Good morning, everybody. I'm my brother. My chronic disease is I was diagnosed in 1993 with multiple sclerosis. And then in 2019, I was diagnosed with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And so for the MS, the stereotypical things as far as like balance, fatigue. I haven't ridden my bike in 4 or 5 years. For the leukemia, is not so much. I saw my oncologist who said I'm stable, so I'm on my meds and everything. And thankfully, my wife and I, we help each other out. And so I get on her about her meds, she gets on me about my meds, and so we're doing pretty well. So I'll pass the mic to Tariq.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. My name is Tariq Sahali. My nickname is Tariq Sahali, but it's okay. If you call me Tariq, it's quite all right. That fancy Q throws everybody off, so it's understandable. The chronic condition that I am suffering from, or not so much suffering from, but experiencing, is the same as everybody, but I limit it to actual aging. So I have to go through the process of aging and understanding what those new limitations are with my body and trying to figure out ways to sort of, manage those limitations with a positive attitude. But I'm also a technology support professional, and I provide a lot of tech support to elders in our community, which has now turned me into a technical caregiver. And so I've come into contact with a lot of different chronic conditions from a lot of different people, and having to understand or empathize with what some of the limitations to their mobility may be in terms of verbally speaking, being able to see the computer or the laptop or any other device that they might have to deal with, sometimes just in order to get their basic healthcare needs sort of provided and fulfilled. So I've become very aware of the various types of chronic conditions out there and the degree at which people are suffering from them. And I've had to make myself very much in tune to providing that tech support while understanding those conditions. So this puts me in a position where I can actually learn a bit more about it and probably speak to some of my potential clients or community members in a way that would be outside the normal, oh, are you okay? Take a moment to actually talking about how they might be managing their day-to-day activities and some of the things they might want to be mindful of when doing that. So, that's me in a nutshell. I'm here to help.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's see here. Okay, awesome. So Pamela is saying hello. So my name is Pamela. I am hearing impaired. My entire family struggles with diabetes and high blood pressure. Wonderful. I don't know if I saw all of it. Hold on. Welcome, Pam. Thank you.
And what are the problems that it causes? So as we are dealing with these conditions, what are the problems that these things may cause us?
So Pam says, I work with seniors and assist with their needs and help navigate the help. I am borderline diabetic. Okay, so I'll ask Pam a question. So let's go to Jerome. So Jerome, if you can introduce yourself, and if you'd like to share if you have a chronic health condition and 1 or 2 issues or problems that this causes you in life.
Yes. Okay. My name is Jerome, and I am my chronic condition, well, at least the one, I have 2, but the one that I'm going to talk about here is the kidney. The problem it causes really is, I started last year, I got on a very strict diet, so I wouldn't be moving from a stage 3 to another stage. And so the problem basically is watching what I eat and exercising.
Okay. Welcome.
Okay.
Let's see here. Thank you, everyone. Let's see if we have heard from everyone.
Is there anyone we have not heard from?
Let me see here. Miss Kelly. And you are on mute, Miss Kelly. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, yes. My chronic condition is high blood pressure. And the problems for me that it causes is I find as I age, my mobility is limited because I was a runner, and up until 10 years ago, I ran in the Senior Olympics, and I ran heels. So I can't do that anymore. And it, because I get dizzy and I don't have that endurance or that strength that I once had at 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60.
Yes.
So that's the problem. And I think problem number two sort of is sometimes depression. And I'm not sure if it's COVID related, but I think about aging a lot. I think about the fact that I am now a septuagenarian. What is it when you're over 70? Something like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I think about that a lot. And I try to make sure my life is I want to make my life ready to see God. So that's what I'm working a lot toward.
Wonderful.
That's pretty much it. I just miss running.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kelly. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so
Okay.
much for introducing yourself.
So, as you can see here, although our conditions and the things that we might be dealing with might be different, as you may have noticed, many of our problems are similar, regardless of which our chronic conditions we have. So, if we will be learning tools to address most, if not all, of these problems that we've listed here today. So, for example, some of us that actually did, and let me go back to the screen, if I may, for a moment. So when we mentioned about difficulty with communication, we are going to address that today. We have talked about limited mobility and some of us having difficulty with that, and we're going to also be able to discuss that. We will also discuss difficult emotions that sometimes come up with this. Yes, I see raising eye brother. Give me one moment. Yes.
Can I add some more?
Yes, by all means.
The MS is one of those things, go through all types of like depression and anxiety, especially in the wintertime because the daylight gets so short. So I call it SAD, seasonal affective disorder. So
Yes.
those times of year gets really depressing for me. And then the other thing was related to it's just emotions. Yeah, and aging. So I'm trying to figure out is my MS getting worse or is it because I'm getting older? So
Exactly. And that is a perfect way to say that, I brother, is that we are dealing with chronic conditions. Some of us have other things, and we're dealing with aging as well as our society right now through this COVID era. And so it's hard for us to really determine where all of this is coming from. So the good thing is that we're in the perfect place to be able to help each other through all of this. So even though we might have different reasons for our symptoms or our difficulties, we can all see that they are similar and that we share something in common and we can help each other out. So thank you everybody for your willingness to share with that. And so let me also continue. Give me one moment. Let me find my place. Okay, so, we will be discussing, as we mentioned throughout the entire workshop, medication usage is going to be in session 5. Using your mind is going to be today, now in this session 1, as well as in 5 and 6. These tools will also help us with fatigue and pain. Some of us mentioned that we deal with fatigue, as well as different things that keep us from doing the things that we want. It will also help us with stress as well. Fatigue and sleep, we will be discussing this week. Better communication comes up in session 4. And throughout the course, we'll be talking about healthy eating, but especially in sessions 3, 4, and 5. What I love also for myself that dealing with anxiety, breathing helps, as well as with asthma. We're going to talk about breathing techniques in session 4, which helps with stress, as well as symptoms of lungs and other heart problems. And as my brother just mentioned, we're going to help each other and really talk about understanding emotions in sessions 2, which is next week, as well as in week 5. You know, emotions play such a huge part in our physical and our emotional health. So, we're also going to talk about working with our healthcare providers, which can also be a cause for a lot of those difficult emotions. The most important tools in our self management toolbox are problem solving, action planning, and decision making. And we will be using these tools just about every session. And these tools will help most of us deal with almost all of the problems on our list. And let me show you that toolbox now. Give me one moment. Okay, so this is our self-management toolbox. These are the topics that we're going to be discussing in this workshop. So as you can see, physical activity, problem solving, medications, using your mind, decision making, understanding emotions, action planning, which is so much fun, communication, breathing techniques, healthy eating, sleep, and working with providers. So let's talk a little bit about the materials that you received now. So let me stop that. Um, okay, so the workshop overview, I sent an email believe it was yesterday with the workshop overview. So did everybody receive that in their email? And if you didn't, I can go ahead and I'm going to show it for us now here today. But by show of hands, did everybody receive that email? So I can make sure you're receiving emails. Wonderful. Okay, so that is a good reference for you to have. Let me show that now, actually, if I can pull that up. Give me one moment. Okay, of course, I would lose it. Give me one moment.
I know you probably have like 3 or 5 different screens going
I
on.
do. I do. So give me one second. It actually did. Okay, so give me one second, everybody.
The other, as Lupita's bringing that up, so she'll show the homework, but also we do have the Living a Healthy Life with Chronic Conditions book that all of you have received. So, and that's not a workbook, but it's a reference book, and it has all the material that we covered during our workshop. And it has a lot of other topics that we don't cover in the workshop. So there's additional information for you. It's such a great resource.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Daniela, for sharing that. And here is the overview. So this is what you should have also received, if I may. Let me just bounce over to, okay, so this is the workshop overview. And this sheet will tell you exactly all of the topics that we go over by each week. So when you're wanting to find out, say, specifically about preventing falls, you can find out here that we're going to talk about it in session 2. So let me just show that to you. So in week 2 here, we also have, again, preventing falls. So this sheet will actually tell you all of the different activities that we're going to be doing. On the back side of that sheet, there is also homework by session. Now, this is not homework like you will receive in class. This is work to be done at home. So this is something that you can understand on your own. So the book that you received, the topics, this is will tell you where to find in that reference manual the topics that we've discussed that week. And so if you want to find out more information, that's a really good resource for you to get more information from that book. Okay, so let me stop that share for a moment. Okay, let me come back here.
Wonderful.
Okay, so this is a very interactive workshop. So for now, we've had a little bit of interaction. All of us have been able to share a little bit about each other, but all of us will be practicing and sharing everything that we have learned and what we have already learned from our own experience. I love that we get to learn from one another because we are our own best sources of our ideas, and we're here to help one another. So now let's move on to our first self-management topic, which is how to deal with one of our most common symptoms for people with chronic conditions, which is fatigue. So Daniela, let's talk about fatigue and getting a good night's sleep.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So fatigue, it's a very common symptom for most chronic conditions. And to start off our discussion about fatigue, we're going to do a brainstorm. And the purpose of a brainstorm is to allow us to share as many ideas about a topic as possible in the quickest way possible. So to do this, we are going to follow these guidelines.
Okay.
And Lupita is going to go ahead and bring that up for us.
And the first
and if
one,
you can share. Yes, thank you, Lupita, for sharing.
Okay. So the very first one is that anyone can share. Do you want to explain, Daniela, or do you want me to continue? Okay, the second
And go
one.
ahead and continue.
Okay, no commenting during the brainstorm. So that means that we don't need to ask about the ideas. We don't need to say whether it's a negative or positive. And here's the tricky thing. We don't have to explain our answers. We just have to be as quick as possible. The third thing is that there's no questioning during. If there's questions about any idea, we can wait until after the brainstorm is done. And then the final thing is that again, if someone does have a question and clarification is needed, clarification waits until after. So when all of the ideas are out, we're going to go over anything that didn't quite make sense or that needs clarification, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much. So what we are going to do is let's go ahead and get the question on the board. So what we're going to brainstorm is, what are things that cause fatigue? What things can cause fatigue? So again, for this, we can use the chat, or if you want to even raise your hand, sometimes chat goes by faster, or raise your hand. Sometimes online, it's hard to talk over each other. So what are things that can cause fatigue? You can go ahead and start putting them in the chat. Okay, we have unhealthy eating. Okay, repetitive work. Stress. Okay, and lack of sleep. And we can probably put, I don't know if we can put a check to that because we have not enough rest. So lack of sleep, not enough rest. Okay, and then we also have arguments or fights. People who are draining. We also have over-exercise. Okay, lack of exercise. And we have long work hours. and diet. We also have medications, depression, also end of a long bike ride. These are really great ideas. Okay, and then we have Fox News. And we have too much TV.
Maybe just a couple more.
Okay, we have high heat. So we have a few others. So how much, so we have high heat. I'll just go through them. We also have, let's see, discomfort. And alcohol. And not getting enough air. SOB. We have living conditions. And that looks like it.
Okay, that's
I
a
don't think
really
I
good
missed any.
list.
So that's a great list, Lupita. Do you think you can please read that back to us, please?
Yeah, some of the things that we've realized that cause fatigue are unhealthy eating, repetitive work, stress, lack of sleep or fatigue a couple of times, arguments and fights, people who are draining, overexercise, lack of exercise, long work hours, and here we have several. We have diet, high heat, discomfort, alcohol, not getting enough, SOB, I think I heard you say, living conditions. Then we have medications, depression, end of a long bike ride, Fox News, and too much TV.
Wonderful, thank you. Do any of these need clarification? Okay, I don't think I see anybody's hand up. Okay, so some other things to add that were not mentioned, dehydration. So this is particularly important if you're taking some blood pressure medications or diuretics. You should be getting plenty of water. Also, activities that strain our joints or muscles, muscle tension. I believe that we had depression on there, but also stress, anxiety, and other difficult emotions. And let's see what else.
You know,
And also, go ahead.
You know, the disease itself, you know, sometimes such as pain from inflammation or the joint or tissue damage. It could even be poor blood supply to the heart, trapped or damaged nerves, and fatigue because the body is less efficient and takes energy to heal itself. So even just the disease itself.
And I brother says having to explain to Karens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And also medication side effects. So that was mentioned as well, medications, but side effects in particularly. Okay, so and also diuretics, it's hard on your kidneys. So again, it's good to have the fluids. And let's see here. So all of these can cause fatigue, but the lack of sleep or poor quality of sleep are what most people think of first. So we're going to go ahead and again bring up our self-management toolbox, if we can bring that up, and we are going to see that, as you can see here, sleep is one of our main tools in our toolbox. Thank you, Lupita. Okay, so getting quality sleep is especially important for people with chronic physical and mental, there we go, sleep right there, one of our main tools in our toolbox. And again, getting quality sleep is especially important for people dealing with chronic physical and mental health conditions because the body and the mind heal during sleep. So research suggests that better sleep can help improve many chronic physical and mental health conditions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a call out. So you can just kind of shout it out or even put it in the chat. I know again online it's hard to talk over each other. So if you guys can just tell me, what are some ways to get a good night's sleep? So just kind of putting some ideas out there.
Have a set time or a routine for when you want to go to bed and when you want to get up is very helpful.
Having a set routine. Yes, definitely. Awesome. A decent bed, always helpful. What else? Let's see. Not watching TV an hour before going to bed. So Peter, okay, you're gonna put this on the board?
Mhm.
Okay. So let me just because it's under, so this is under what are some other distraction techniques. So this is
Sorry.
so we're just gonna go ahead and we can just call it out if you want. So we also have so the question is, what are some ways to get a good night's sleep? We also have temperature of the room. Yes. And Pam, I'm sorry, let's see. Go ahead, Miss Kelly. Did you have a comment? Okay, we have
I was going to say not having, not drinking caffeine at night or eating late at night. Have a set
Yes.
time when you close your kitchen down.
yes. Yeah, so we have warm tea, relaxing music, Pam says. And let's see what else.
You know, the hardest part is trying to get up at the same time every day. That's even
Mhm.
harder,
Mhm.
even on the weekends.
We also have a hot bath and having it be quiet. Definitely. And
That would be
reading.
difficult for Jasmine.
We also have reading. Anything else? Any other things that help us get a good night's sleep? I sometimes find I do kind of like a sleep meditation before I go to bed, and that really helps me. And definitely prayer. Yes. He and MS don't mix.
Yes. So speaking of, is making sure having light sheets for to be cool. So night sweats. That could be really difficult. And also, I'm a light sleeper, so I usually sometimes use earplugs as well. So that could be helpful.
Definitely. Wonderful. These are some really great ideas, everyone. So a few more to add. Do you want to go over these, Lupita, or do you want me to? We have
Yeah,
an
sure.
absolutely from Pam. Yes. So go ahead and tell us any that were not mentioned, please.
Okay, so I mentioned getting up in the morning, but also going to bed. So we talked about, somebody mentioned a routine. Avoiding caffeine also includes chocolate. So that's a hard one. So avoiding chocolate as well as part of the caffeine. Also avoiding alcohol near bedtime. So it interferes with quality of sleep because it'll affect the blood sugar during sleep and might wake us. Um, and let's see. Also avoid going to bed hungry or going to bed hungry, or its opposite, eating a very heavy meal. So making sure that you eat a large meal at least 2 hours before bedtime, but also making sure that you're not going to bed hungry. We've talked about creating, some things we've mentioned, but creating a restful environment. So something that's cool, dark, maybe quiet, and also disconnecting electronic devices at least a half hour and not having them in the bedroom. Maybe even limiting daytime naps or at least the amount of time so that it doesn't interfere with sleep later in the day. Also, regular physical activity helps, but not close to bedtime because it could give you a boost of energy. So you want to do regular activity earlier and throughout the day, perhaps. Daniela, some people did mention, as you did, relaxation or, just to manage our stress and our worries. And if you do take the diuretics, make sure that you take them earlier in the day. So because the diuretic may make you wake up frequently to have to go to the bathroom throughout the night. So take it earlier in the day. And I think we've got a lot of really good ideas already covered. So that's great.
Yep. And brother also says regularity. So
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you so much. So although the amount of sleep is different for all, getting good sleep is sometimes easier said than done. So having difficulty sleeping is not an uncommon complaint. So we may have trouble getting to sleep, or we may wake up often, or we may not be able to go back to sleep once we have awakened. So if you get to sleep okay, but you find that you wake and then have problems falling back to sleep, then this may be caused by anxiety or depression. And sometimes you can fall back to sleep by keeping your mind off of your troubles. This is a time when you may want to practice a technique called distraction, which we will talk about and practice after our break. And if you sleep all night but still wake up tired or with a headache, you might have sleep apnea. Doctors say that this is a problem that many people don't know they have, and it could be very dangerous. So this is more about sleep apnea. I'm sorry, there is more about sleep apnea in your Living a Healthy Life book, and we encourage you to read about it. It's important to know. So if your sleep problems continue or you are concerned about getting enough sleep, talk to your healthcare provider. And now it's time to take a 20-minute, we're going to take a 20-minute break. So when we come back, we're going to learn about the connection between the mind and the body and a tool called distraction. So right now it's, let's just say 1:30, so 12:30 your time. So then we'll come back at 12:50. Sounds good? Okay, everyone enjoy your break. Stretch, go to the bathroom, get something to drink. Awesome.
Mhm.
Take a nap.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jasmine, if you're on, I'm not sure if you want to stop the recording at this time, if you can hear me.
Or as host, you could stop it too, Maria.
Thank you so much, Gail. That's really good. Let's see. She must be recording locally. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll see. Thank you for that, though. That was really great suggestion. I still have yet to find the option for the recording, so I'm going to go back in and see if I can find that option for you to be able to record the chats.
Okay.
Thank you, Gail.
Oh, you're right, Maria. You do have to go in your setups and it says allow participants to record chat, or you're not allowing participants to record the chat. It is in your Zoom.
Okay, the settings.
Uh-huh.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to log in now and see if I can get that done. Thank
Okay.
you.
See you after the break.
Yes, enjoy.
Hey, what's up? We on a break. Yeah, yeah, no, this is ER, yeah, yeah. The art. This is the art stuff, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. Wow. No. Oh, good. Mhm. Mhm. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Mhm. Oh, oh, wow, yeah. Well, yeah, that's no good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad at least you're getting some workers. That's good. Because the tip of the iceberg, and you just keep doing it. You know.
Brother Jerome, you're not muted.
Mm. Yeah, wow.
Okay, if we can all start coming back now.
So Tarek, what is the temperature where you guys are today?
Today we're a little bit cooler. I think we might be in the 70s. We have a little overcast, so we're not feeling the heat, but at the same
Nice.
time, a little chilly.
Nice.
But at the same time, the sun is starting to come out. We'll get later days, so the temperature will
love
probably
it.
get up into the 80s before we know it.
Nice. Very cool. We've been getting a lot of rain in New Mexico. So it's such a blessing because it's been so dry. So it's nice.
It has been really, really nice.
It's 66 degrees here in Tacoma.
Wow, that's actually kind of cold.
Yeah.
Wow.
When the sun's out. Sun's out, which is cool. But yeah.
Yeah, that makes it tough. Okay, is everybody back?
Let's see. So Jasmine, let's see.
Okay. Very good. Okay, thank you everybody for coming back from the break. Okay, we are going to, let me just find my place. So as Daniela mentioned right before the break, right now we're going to be talking about a really important technique, which is distraction. So we've all heard about the connection between the mind and the body, and we know that our mind can have a really important influence over our body. In this workshop, we're going to look at ways to use this relationship as we learn ways to help manage our health problems, and especially the symptoms that we are experiencing. So let me just show our toolbox. Okay, so you can see here that using our mind is one of the tools in our toolbox. Okay, and that's what we're going to be doing today, right now. Okay, let me switch. Okay, right now we're going to start with a look at our first using the mind tool. This tool involves thinking activities where we actively use our minds to manage the symptoms to help us feel better. The mind is a very important tool, powerful. To demonstrate how your mind can affect your body, we're going to just do a really short activity. So I want you all for a moment, just please relax. And if you feel relaxed and comfortable enough to do so, just close your eyes for a second and allow your imagination to be open. So just imagine that you're holding a big, bright, yellow slice of lemon. You can just picture it in your mind, a slice of lemon. As you hold it in your hand, you can even feel the texture of the lemon rind. Now imagine now that you can smell the citrus aroma. As you lift the lemon to your nose, you can smell how strong that citrusy aroma is. So now, just imagine that you bring that slice of lemon up to your mouth and that you take a big bite out of that slice of lemon. It's so juicy that the juice just squirts everywhere in your mouth from that lemon. You can taste the tart lemon juice just filling your mouth. The juice even just dribbles down your chin. It's just so juicy and tart. So just taste the juice from that lemon. Okay. So everybody, if your eyes, go ahead and open your eyes now if they've been closed. So this is just, a brief example. Tell me, what happened to your body while you were imagining this lemon? Anybody?
I'm sitting on a tropical beach, got the punch in my hand. Another one. So yeah,
You're ready to have a cocktail. There you go.
exactly.
What?
Yeah. Tequila shots, lemon, lime. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What else? What
So even though this was a virtualized exercise and I didn't actually have a lemon to smell or taste, my mouth started to water.
Yes. Did anybody else experience that?
And I had a good time just visualizing the lemon. I could see where it was in my house, you know,
So you can even
how
picture
it
where the lemons were
smelled.
located.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that amazing? This, as Tarek said it best, this was a super simple exercise. There wasn't an actual lemon, but yet our bodies responded as if there was. Oh my gosh, amazing. The salivation and even that puckering. Did anybody feel that tightness just behind their ears? Oh goodness, yes. Okay. So imagine that was maybe 45 seconds of imagining eating a lemon and our bodies respond. Imagine what our bodies do with all of our other thoughts throughout the day and our self-talk. We're going to be talking about communication with ourselves in another week. But this is just a simple example of how the mind can affect our body with almost little to no effort. Imagine what we could do if we learned ways to use that power to help us feel better with our symptoms. So, in this workshop, we will learn several thinking type techniques. And so, our job is to try the different methods and to find the ones that work best for us. Most people find that they like some techniques better than others, and that's okay. We're going to be learning about 4 different thinking activities in this workshop, so give them a try. See which ones work best for you. And the first one is distraction. We're going to talk about that right now. The next is relaxation and body scan. Also, helpful thinking and guided imagery. And also, equally powerful and helpful to many people, as we've been discussing, is prayer and meditation, which are not only helpful for the mind and the body, but also for our spirit. So, if prayer and meditation are important in your life, we encourage you to continue to use them. There are also some other activities for using the mind that are discussed in your Living a Healthy Life book, the Blue Book. Okay? So here's a word of caution. It's super important that these distraction techniques should not be used to overcome if you're feeling chest pain, if you're feeling sudden numbness or weakness on one side of the body. These are warning signs of possible heart attack or stroke, and they really should be taken seriously and immediately reported. They need medical management. So today, we're going to talk about short-term distraction to help us manage our symptoms. This is a really good tool that to help us fall back to sleep, when we're having issues that we just talked about before the break. It's super difficult for the mind to focus on 2 things while at once. We're like a radio station. We can't get 2 stations really well. That really only one station can come through at a time in order for it to be heard well and clear. This is also true for the mind. It has many thoughts, but it can really only focus well on one thing at a time. So, therefore, learning how to use distraction can be so beneficial in managing symptoms because the mind does not focus well on 2 things at the same time. We're going to force our mind to think about something other than our symptoms so that the symptom will feel less intense. So, distraction is good to use when we have to do short activities that cause us trouble, such as pain or discomfort or even a little anxiety. Some things could be like climbing stairs where we get long winded or out of breath, or maybe doing some other kind of routine chore. So, in addition to helping us fall asleep or falling back to sleep when we wake up in the middle of the night, short term distractions can also help us when we have troubling thoughts or worrisome thoughts or when we have experiences of shortness of breath. So, again, don't practice these if you're having numbness or tingling or other types of those symptoms on one side of the body. These are for other types of symptoms. So, some examples of short term distraction techniques are that use the mind, things that only use the mind. We might be able to count backwards by threes, starting from 100, or maybe playing a baseball game in your head, or thinking of a flower or a bird for every letter of the alphabet, or even making plans for some kind of future event or looking forward to something. Maybe even trying to think of the words of an old song or a poem. All of these things are done only in the head. So right now we're going to do a brainstorm. And the brainstorm, just remember that the purpose of the brainstormings are allowing all of us to share as many ideas as we can about a topic as possible and the quickest way possible. So if you guys want to use your chat and put all of the ideas in there, that's a really great way to do that. And what the question that we are going to brainstorm is, what are some other distraction techniques? So let me get that up. What are some other distraction techniques? Okay. So if you guys can put your ideas there in the chat and we'll get those done.
Sing your favorite song in your mind.
A favorite song in your mind. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We also have reading a book.
Playing chess in your mind.
Playing chess in your mind.
Is it okay just to say playing chess?
Would that be okay, Gail?
Sure.
Just playing chess? Okay, perfect. Do a math problem. And apply pressure to spot on body. So for example, like the hand, leg, etc. So apply pressure to spot on body.
Imagine a place you want to be.
Okay, imagine a place you want to be. Also, going over what you are going to write in your book. Thinking of a video edit. So thinking of a video edit. What else? Let's get a couple more on the board.
I was trying to get to chat, but I don't see it on my iPad here. I know it's here. Oh, here it is.
And you can
Reminiscing. I can't spell reminiscing.
reminiscing. I don't know if I can spell it either, Kelly.
Well,
so reminiscing.
When I watch track and field, I reminisce.
Okay. Thank
Awesome.
goodness for autocorrect and spelling.
Oh,
Yes. We also have a vacation planning.
Mm.
Okay.
What else? Let's get a couple more on the board.
Funny. Something that you know makes you laugh. You just think about it.
Think about something that makes you laugh.
Funny. Yeah.
Something
that's
funny. Yes. Definitely. What else? What are some other distraction techniques?
Plain old laughing.
Plain old laughing. And also remembering a favorite date, play, concert, or other activity.
Okay.
What else? Maybe just like two
Doodling.
more.
Doodling.
Doodling. Okay.
Okay.
Thinking of an old lover.
Okay.
That can be dangerous.
But oh so fun. Planning the overthrow.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you everyone for sharing.
Okay, so here are some other distraction techniques that we have come up with. We have come up with favorite song in our mind, reading a book, playing chess in our mind, doing a math problem, applying pressure to spot on the body, imagine a place you want to be, going over what you're going to write in your book, thinking of a video edit, reminiscing, vacation planning, thinking of something funny, plain old laughing. remembering a favorite date, a concert, or other activity, doodling, thinking of an old lover, and planning the overthrow. Hmm. Do any of those need clarification?
I don't know exactly what planning the overthrow means.
Okay, who shared that one? Tell us what that is.
Okay, that was me. So, as I call myself an artivist, and it's a combination of an activist and an artist. And so planning the overthrow, just thinking about the current government situation and some of the politics that are involved. And I just finished watching the 1974 movie Nation Time. It was about the Black political conference that they had. I think it was in Chicago, and it just got released. And so it's pretty interesting because I was born in 68, but then to see all the stuff that was happening in 74. And plus, I just watched that one concert movie that just got released that Questlove produced from the Harlem concert around the same time that Woodstock happened. And then after that, there was another one that happened in New Jersey. And then plus there's Watts Stacks. And so all that stuff. So even though I was born in 68, that revolutionary thing is still in the back of my head. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And
So
now I
good.
get it. That helps.
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. So planning in our minds, right? Future planning. There you go. So, as we're discussing distraction techniques that use our thoughts or the mind to focus and concentrate on, those are distractions. So again, those examples, counting backwards by threes, thinking of flowers, planning the overthrow, all of those wonderful things are things that we can do in the mind that occupy us, that engage our mind. And there are other activities that are distraction, but they are activities that utilize other things, such as reading, going shopping, maybe talking to friends, or watching television. Those are physical things because they either require the other person or the television to do it. Both of these types are very good strategies for helping us to manage our symptoms. But for right now, we're just going to talk about the thinking ones, just those ones that are with a mind only, that require no other person or thing to help us with the distraction. So it's a technique that uses the mind for short periods of time. So we're going to do a demonstration and a distraction activity now. So first, I want everybody to think of what you're to concentrate on your pain. So if you have symptoms that cause you physical pain, we are going to focus on that pain for 30 seconds, okay? And afterwards, we're going to rate our pain or our discomfort on a scale of 0 to 5. 5 is the most painful and uncomfortable. 0 is where you are comfortable. If you don't have physical discomfort already, you can try pinching yourself. This is a really good place, that real meaty place right between your thumb and your finger. So you can squeeze that area. You don't want to cause intense pain, just enough to where it's uncomfortable. So you can do anything. You can even pinch yourself, but just don't cause yourself harm. Okay? So either focus on the pain you already have or cause yourself a little discomfort, and we're going to do it for 30 seconds. Okay? So here we go. Everybody begin. Focusing on pain, 30 seconds. Dang, doesn't feel good. Okay. Keep focusing. Okay, go ahead and stop. Okay. Okay. So now just rate your discomfort level, again on a scale of 0 to 5, okay? So just hold that, rate that pain, and just think about that for a minute. Just remember it, okay? So just hold on to that. And so now we're going to do the exact same thing. You either focus on the pain you already have, Either you continue pinching, you can even squeeze your fists really tight and try to hold it as tight as you can for 30 seconds. Okay, and that other distraction technique. So either pinch, hold your fists, or think of the discomfort you already have. And this time, do it while thinking of a distraction technique. So think of the prayer or the song or the counting backwards. Okay, so does everybody have a distraction technique in mind?
Or that the old lover, whatever is
Or
exciting.
thinking of the old lover that might be a little dangerous. Yeah, okay. So whatever distraction technique you decide to use. Okay, now we're going to do it again. And here we go. Thinking of the distraction technique now, okay? With that distraction in your mind, let yourself go into the distraction. Here we go. Begin. Thinking of a distraction. Okay. All righty. So now, again, go ahead and rate your discomfort level, okay, on a scale of 0 to 5, 5 being the most uncomfortable, okay? Okay, so by a show of hands, how many of you felt a difference between the first or the second activity? Very good. Okay. And let's see here. By also, by show of hands, rather yet, let me just see. Which time was more painful or uncomfortable? So by show of hands, who thought that the first time was more uncomfortable? First or second? The first one. Okay, who thought that the second one was most uncomfortable? I don't think I see any hands. Okay, so last question. Were both of those times the same length, or did one feel longer than the other? Anybody?
The times felt the same.
The times felt the same. Okay. Did anybody else feel a difference?
The experience of discomfort made the time feel longer. So the first exercise it did.
So the first
The
time felt
second one, the
longer.
sensation was shorter, wasn't as painful.
Yes.
Okay. Now, isn't this the most amazing thing? We want to point out that most people find the distraction to be helpful, and to think that the second time was actually, so most people would think that the second time was shorter, just as Tarek mentioned. The most amazing thing is that the second time was actually 15 seconds longer than the first.
All right.
Yeah, the first time we did 30 seconds, and the second time we did it 45 seconds. But yet, the first time was most painful and felt longer. That is the power of our mind, using those wonderful distraction techniques to take our mind off of the symptoms. Oh, I have chills actually as I'm listening to everybody's responses and how it felt. Amazing, isn't that incredible?
But I thought you had a timer. I heard the bell. And so,
Yes. So the first time I'll share this with you. I don't know if you can see this on your screen. But
I got you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I almost gave it away. So I
Yep.
was like, okay, hold it for 30 seconds, right? And I almost said it. So the second time was actually longer. Incredible. I love it. Okay, so this is the perfect example that when we engage our mind, to take our mind off of our symptoms or our problems, even if when we're doing not just mind techniques, but other things such as watching, doing an interesting activity. Somebody mentioned watching, movies, funny movies, maybe doing some gardening and reading to forget about the symptoms. But sometimes we don't have those tools or things that we need, so we know that we could use our mind. And sometimes we need to interrupt long distracting activities so that we don't overdo it and become too fatigued later either. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to discuss one of the most important self-management toolbox, which is action planning. So Daniela's going to walk us through that activity. Thank you, everybody. That was fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. Okay. I know even when we were talking about the vacation, I was kind of like, I brother thinking about being on the beach with the lemon slice and my fruity drink, and oh, so helpful. I love it. Okay, so we're going to talk about action plans, and sometimes it can be overwhelming to think about the changes that we want to make or the activities we want to accomplish. So they might seem too big to work all at once, which makes it hard to get started. So if we can pull up our toolbox, again, we have a lot of great tools. And as you can see, action planning is one of the main tools in our toolbox. Thank you for bringing that up. And the reason why action plans are so important is because they allow us to achieve what we want or decide to do by breaking down the activity into smaller, more doable steps or tasks. So, for example, a person who decides they want to improve fitness might break this goal into one of these steps at first. So one plan could be to research what types of exercise they want to do, or another action plan might be to find a place to exercise, such as a warm water swimming pool or an exercise class at a senior or community center. Another could be to start an exercise program by walking for 5 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, or you want to read about exercises in Living a Healthy Life book, or you will ask a friend to exercise with you. So we do not need to do all of these steps at once. Rather, we need to get started by deciding which step we are going to work on for this week and exactly how we are going to do it. So these are parts of an action plan. And so Lupita, if you can help me just read more into it. So I'll go ahead and introduce the numbers. So the first thing is to, it needs to be something you want or decide to do.
And this is super important because it's not what somebody else tells us that we should do. It's not what your doctor says you have to do. It's not what any family member says that you must. This is something that you get to decide. It's something that you yourself want to do. So you yourself personally, okay?
Perfect. Number 2 is achievable.
We want everybody to succeed. So we want it to be realistic. So it's something that you can expect to be able to successfully accomplish this week, and we're going to help you figure out how to do that. Okay.
Wonderful. Number 3, action specific.
So for example, losing weight is not an action plan. Losing weight is a goal. And losing weight is the result of the action or the alternate behavior. So, like specifically replacing snacks with fruit in between meals or going for a walk. Those are action specific. Okay.
Great. And number 4, you want to answer the following questions.
So to help us get specific, we want to know these things. We want to know what you're going to do, what specifically. So to say exercise is not enough. We want to hear, are you going to go for a walk? Or are you going to replace unhealthy junk foods with snacks? Okay, the second thing is, how much?
So how much?
Okay, how much time, how much distance, or how much amount? So if you're going to go for a walk, how long are you going to walk for? How far are you going to walk? If it's changing to snacks, how many times are you going to do that? One portion, one snack? So how much? Be specific.
Awesome. And then when?
So you want to decide when you're going to do this specific activity. So you get to decide what days this week you're going to do it. What time of the day are you going to do it? So, for example, after dinner, maybe Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Okay.
Okay, and last is how often.
So you want to decide also how many times this week you're going to do this. Now, again, we want it to be achievable. So you want to be realistic. So we want to try to avoid, I'm going to do this every day. That might not be realistic. So we want to say, like, for example, maybe 3 times or more. So if something comes up, you'll have a better success and that you'll feel accomplished. And you could also always change the day that you do it. So rather than feeling like you've failed. So we do want to know specifically how many times this week, but avoid saying every single day. Okay.
Okay, and number 5 is a confidence level of 7 or more.
So given all of these tools and us helping you create it, we want to have a confidence that you are going to be successful. So on a scale of 0 means I'm not going to do it, to 10 means I'm going to do it so much it's almost already done. Okay, so we want people to have a confidence level of at least about 7. Okay, but be honest with yourself. If you really don't have a confidence of 7, let us help you achieve a confidence level of 7 so that we can help you feel successful and that you can accomplish it. It's very important that we succeed.
Wonderful. So now we are all going to have a chance to make an action plan for this week. And I will go ahead and start and let you know what my action plan is. And Lupita will go and we'll give you just, about a minute or so. So you can even start thinking of what you want to do this week. And after we share, then we can get a volunteer and go around the room. So go ahead and just start thinking of what you want to do this week.
It could be something that you've been wanting to accomplish, a project you're working on. It could be even some of the activities that we're learning in the workshop, but it doesn't have to be about the workshop. It could be about anything. What goal do you have for yourself this week? What would you
Yeah.
like to work on for yourself?
And again, and just most importantly, it's something that you want to do or that you decide to do and that it's achievable this week. So again, just keeping it real with ourselves. So I'll go ahead and start. So my action plan for this week is my what is I'm going to walk. How much? I am going to walk for 1 hour. When? I'm going to do it in the evenings when it's cooler. So this has been about 8 o'clock or so at night. And how often? I'm going to do this 3 times this week. And my confidence level is a 7. Okay. So Lupita, please tell us what your action plan is and go ahead and answer the 4 questions. So what is your action plan for this week? What is your what?
Okay, so my what this week is I am going to drink more water. I am going to drink 4 additional glasses per day. I'm going to do that 3 days this week. I'm going to do that early enough in the day so I'm not running to the restroom all night long. How often? I'm going to do that 3 days this week. So 3 extra glasses, 3 extra days. And my confidence level is a 7 because it's something I've been really working on this summer. So that is my plan. Okay.
Wonderful.
Who'd like to go first?
So Pam actually is kicking it off. And so thank you, Pam. So Pam says that she says, I'm not going to gamble when I arrive in Las Vegas. And she says that was not supposed to go out. Okay. And Pam, how confident are you that that you will not gamble when you arrive in Vegas? Let's see if she can.
She's shaking her head no. Not very confident. She's shaking her head.
Okay, so again, Pam, and we can come back to you if you want. So I love it. So if you definitely want that as an action plan, cool, let's roll with it. You can think of a confidence level, or you can think of something that you actually want to do this week. So feel free to chime back in and let us know. And so who would like to go next? So thank you, Pam. I love it.
Okay, Gail.
Okay, my action plan is I am going to write for 60 minutes after my first glass of water in the morning, 6 days a week this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. My confidence level is an 8.
Wonderful. I love it. Good luck. Great job, and good luck with that.
I want
Okay.
to add that action plan to my own too. So,
Yes.
okay,
So
who's next?
I'll go. So in the chat, I put Slim Cycle because I bought one of those things a couple months ago. I said I was going to ride at least 3 times a week for at least 5 minutes or 20 minutes, upgrade each time. I haven't ridden this stupid thing for like a month now. And it's just sitting there like in our living room, and I need to get on it. So my plan is I will use my Slim Cycle at least once a week, starting off for like 10 minutes, and then slowly build up the quantity and the time. So.
okay.
And when is
And what is your and how much are you going to do that? So you're going to increase
Right.
How much are you going to start with that first?
I think just like once a week. I mean, for me to just write, like I'll try and write it today, and then I write it again. Today's what, Thursday. So I'll probably write it again on Sunday, and then increase the number of times a week. But if I can just do it once to start off with, that'd be good.
Great. Okay. And what is your confidence level, hi brother?
Well, I'll be embarrassed to ask me at least 7 or 8 now. So I told you guys, and you get on my back.
Awesome. I love it. And so the Slim Cycle, so is it actually like an actual bike, like an exercise bike?
Yeah, I put the link in the chat. So it's a stationary bicycle, and you can actually go from reclining to actually like upright. And what's really cool about the Slim Cycle is that it has bands, so you can work on your upper body at the same time. And so
I love that. I took a snapshot of it in the chat because I've been wanting to get a indoor cycling bike. So I love it. So thank you for including that in the chat, and good luck. Good luck with your action plan.
And
cool.
I won't say it's cheap. It's inexpensive. It's under $200. And so,
even better. Bikes can be, equipment can be so expensive. So I love it. I'm going to look at it after we get off. Good luck. Thank you. All right. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I'm going to piggyback off of iBrother. I got a Peloton recently, and I've been on it twice, and it's just a poor investment on my end for not taking advantage of it. So I'm going to get on the bike twice this week, at least for 20 minutes. And I'm going to do that tonight and on Friday night. And then, just as iBrother said, I'm going to increase my frequency each week. And my confidence level is about a 6. I just had a lot going on recently. So going to do my best to get on that.
Okay. And so.
Jasmine, I'm sorry. I like to be your accountability partner, Jasmine.
I love it.
You.
Because I have to ask you something else on a different account because of my MS, I'm a part of a Swedish multiple sclerosis coffee break. So every 2 weeks, the first, third, and fifth Fridays, there's a fifth, we have a meeting from like 1 to 2:30. We come on Zoom and we talk about ourselves. And so I was actually able to get somebody from the Washington State Cannabis Society to come online one time. And so the fifth Friday is on the 30th, and I don't have anybody to come. So I'm hoping maybe you can come to talk about the program on the 30th. So
on the 30th, what time is it at?
Anytime between 1 and 2:30.
Okay, I'll have to check back in. We have our diabetes workshop every Friday during that time.
Oh man, so, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry guys, we'll take it offline. So okay.
Cool. I love it. So guys, so research shows that if we are at a confidence level of a 7 or higher, that we are more likely to achieve our goal. So, Miss Jasmine, is there anything that you feel could help to bring it up a little higher, whether it's either decreasing time or frequency, or is there any change you feel that you can make that may raise your confidence level just a little bit? Is there anything you think could help?
Instead of twice,
Yeah,
maybe
probably
once.
just doing it once and then planning to do it. And then if I don't, not feeling guilty because at least I did it once. So probably just setting it to once this week. And then aiming for another time this week.
Awesome. And by doing that, what is your new confidence level?
I would say an 8.
Perfect. Awesome. Great job. And that's beautiful because then, like you say, you can increase. So great job. Good luck with that. Okay. Who would like to go next?
Okay, I'll go. There's a gym in my apartment building, and so I haven't been there in months. Part of the time it was closed, but it's open now. So I'm gonna go at least 3 days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for about a half an hour. Go down to the gym and start getting back in that routine.
Good.
Okay.
And is there a certain time of the day that you're going to do that, or just when you have time? What do you think?
No, I'm going to do that like in the midday.
Midday?
I was doing it like between 1 and 2 o'clock.
Okay. Wonderful. And was there a certain amount of time that you're going to start off with?
I think you said a half hour.
30 minutes, half an hour.
Oh, yes. Wonderful, Jerome. And what is your confidence level?
All around a 7.
Okay. Wonderful. Great job. Good luck with that. Okay. Who would like to go next?
I'm in there.
Okay, Tarek.
All righty. So along with my aging progression, I'm starting to experience more, I wouldn't say phantom pain, but sometimes pain that's sometimes just inexplicable. And I've been trying to figure out ways to remedy these. And part of what I have going on is like a neck shoulder type thing where I'll feel like a tightness or I'll feel some sort of just ache. And so I've been trying to subscribe to doing more upper body calisthenics, not necessarily hard, high impact type exercises, but just a little something with some resistance involved. So even if it's just keeping my hands up above my head, extending repetitively for about 15 minutes, but just enough where I can get my muscles worked out to where I actually do feel tired. And if I sometimes feel a little bit more willing to challenge myself, I'll do some long form push-ups that take a really long time to get through one rep. So as that goes on, I've been trying to commit to doing it more often. So with this action plan, I've been able to put together the fact that I'm looking at doing these upper body calisthenics / push-ups for about 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as a ballpark, and at about 15 minutes per day until I actually do feel, tired. I want to try to do that in the evening parts of the day, right before I go to bed, because I feel like it'll help me actually achieve that level of unconsciousness kind of sleep that you kind of want to be in. So that's what I'm looking at, trying to piece together for my action plan. And I'm about a 7-8 now that I've actually verbalized the whole plan. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted on how I'm feeling in the next week or so.
Wonderful. Great job. Good luck with that. Thank you. And so Miss Pam, so she has another great action plan. So she's going to, her action plan is to do squats. How much is 100 per day? When 50 first thing in the morning, 50 before bedtime, and she's at a confidence level of a 7. So woohoo. It's a great job. Good luck with that one, Pam. Thank you.
Okay,
I know
Miss Kelly.
Yes, go ahead, Miss Kelly.
Oh, they're on mute. Let me.
Oh, I was trying to put it in the chat. I'm just so tech ignorance, I guess you'd say. So, but I'll say mine is water. Okay. I've been drinking 3 glasses here or there which is certainly not enough since I'm doing fiber in the morning. But now I've got my job. So
Nice.
I'm doing 1.5 of these. I mean, I've already started 1.5 per 24 hours because I don't want to dilute my electrolytes. But I'm feeling so much better. So I'm already at a 10.
Okay.
Ah,
Yes.
Great job.
I want I'd brother to put his that website up because I didn't actually get it. And I want to check on that bike that he's talking about.
Okay. I think in the chat, and Miss Kelly, are you able to see the chat? I know I'm not on my iPad today. Because if you're able to bring up the chat, you can scroll up to see previous comments. But you let us know if you're not able to see it, and we'll see if iBrother can put that back in the chat.
The overthrow, the slim cycle. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Okay,
great job, everyone, on making your action plans. So we're all in it together. And so just know good luck to everyone. And I love the accountability partner. So just know that when we come back next week, we're going to go ahead and open up with talking about how we did with our action plans. So good luck. And let's see what else here. So one moment.
You know, a lot of people find that writing these down, so if you want to just take a moment and write it down, that could actually be really helpful, and putting it in a place where you can actually see it would be really good. And if you need to look at this again, in the Living a Healthy Life book on page 36, there is an example of that action plan. So you could always look to page 36 to write those down if you wanted to just take a moment as a reminder. And then this week, just know that Daniela and I love that we've already talked about accountability partners. And so Daniela and I this week will be just to expect a reach out from one of us. So we're going to be calling you just sometime this week just to check and see how you guys are doing on your action plan. And then next week, we'll have a chance to pair up and buddy up to be able to help each other.
Oh, and iBrother says YouTube has tons of videos of people doing action plans. I love YouTube. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So now Lupita is going to prepare us for next week. So Lupita, take it away.
Well, I love it. So here's a couple of things to review about today and then definitely to prepare for next week. So we invite you to look at your workshop overview handout that I emailed that has the suggested reading. So you might want to take a look at your Living a Healthy Life book. And just remember, it's not a workbook, but it's just a reference book. So you might want to check that out. Also, we're going to learn more about chronic health problems. If you have something specific, there's a lot of chapters in there about disease-specific, material in there. So if you have, diabetes specific, or if it's chronic pain or other things, there's a lot of really good information in there. Next week, we're going to begin discussing physical activity. Some of us have talked about that and how some of that causes problems for us and how we're feeling that limitation in the aging. I know I'm with Tarek. I feel that all in my upper shoulders as well. So we're going to learn some really cool things next week. In terms of physical activity, we're also going to learn about some problem solving and ways to deal with all those difficult emotions that we've been talking about. And super important is also preventing falls. And then next week, the very first thing we're going to do is report on how we did on the action plans we made right now. And then at the end, we're going to make another one. And we'll be able to check on our progress. So just remember that the technique we learned today was about distraction. So you might want to practice that this week if you're having some difficulty during the day or falling back to sleep at night. So we just want to thank you so much for coming, for participating in the workshop, and for sharing with us, because I learned a lot from you guys today. And it's amazing how much we share and have in common and get to help one another. So Daniela and I are going to be around, and so is Jasmine and Tarek, if you guys have any questions for us. And Daniela, go ahead.
So I just wanted to know, so we will be checking in. So can you guys put in the chat what is your preferred? Would you like us to call you, text, or email? So if you could just put in the chat, text, email, phone. So how would you like us to check in with you? And I'm going to jot this down. Okay, so
Thank
Jasmine
you.
is text. Cool. Yeah. Okay, and Gail is email. Okay, Pam is text. Cool. Oh, Tarek, how would you like us to call you, text, email? Okay, text. And what about you, Jerome?
Text.
Text, okay.
Right. But I also have a question.
Sure.
You're saying next week. I thought we had another session on Thursday.
That's a very good point. Thank you so much. So remember that today we're pretending that we're the workshop, and so in the workshop, you wouldn't meet with your people until next week. So thank you so much, Jerome. We will definitely be meeting on Thursday so that we could do the review, and then we will have Kelly and Miss Gail up to do their practice teaching. So you got to see how we did the activity that you're going to model for us and do the practice teach on Thursday. So yes, Jerome, we will be together on Thursday. Thank you so much for clarifying that.
I love it. And Miss Kelly, how would you like text, call, or email?
Email.
Email? Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm just so happy. So Miss Kelly, I'm super pumped that you were ready to go, and I'm sorry that but just know you're going to be ready on Thursday, and we'll go into some of the activities before, so we know that you're going to rock it. And again, thank you guys. And Miss Pam, I love it. I love that you're with us, even though you're traveling. And so all of you, thank you for your input. And I'm going to check out that cycling. Brother, I love that. So this is how we learn from each other. So thank you guys for joining us. Go ahead.
What exactly is Gail and I going to do next week? Because you covered the introduction, which is what I thought we were going to do.
Yes. And so what happens now is that this is what I love, is that on Tuesdays, you guys are total participants, get to immerse yourself, experience it, feel it, and then see Daniela and I model your activities. And then on Thursday, we get to come back and we get to pick apart the activity. You'll be able to look at your workshop leader manual. We're going to review the activities and look at all of the different parts of how it runs. And then you guys were going to redo the activity for us. So you guys are going to pretend. No, we're not going to pretend. You guys are going to step into the role of being the workshop leader, and you guys will be the ones to facilitate the activity. Okay?
You got that, Gail?
She's nodding her head and thumbs up. And you are in good hands. We're going to make sure that you all know exactly what you're going to be doing, and so that you will feel fully prepared and confident to be able to carry this on. So then that way there's no surprises. Okay, and if you'd like to reach out to us, Miss Kelly, to have a conversation to help you with it, by all means, please do so. We are here to help. Daniela and I are available through text as well. So if you guys have any question, please feel free to reach out to us by text if you need to get a hold of us. And also, I'm going to put in our the chat again our emails so that you can ask your questions if any did come up as you were watching them, okay? And just make sure to send that to us so we can get those questions prepared in advance for Thursday, okay?
So Ms. Pam says, my question is in the text. My question is in the text. Okay. Will I be able to review the recording for today? So yes, so I believe that we can send this out via email, correct?
Yes, so I believe Jasmine recorded it locally, and that when it finishes rendering, downloading and doing all its thing, then it should be available.
So I just want to say, so Miss Kelly and everyone, so the great thing is, the more, I love how it's set up because you're able to see it and then you're able to do it. So it's kind of like, getting the activities into our mind. And so coming at it at different angles really helps us get the activities and the concepts down. So that's why we do it this way. So just know that we'll go through it again on Thursday, and then you will have the opportunity to to run the activity just like we did today. So it's going to be great. And does anyone have any other questions for right now?
Go ahead.
It's from Miss Kelly. I noticed at the bottom, your subtitle said Swedish. So is that Swedish hospital or where exactly, what's that?
I take workshops sometimes at Swedish under women's health.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Like mammograms and that kind of stuff. You don't need that, do you?
No, men get breast cancer too.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, everybody, unless you have any
Okay.
questions.
Oh, if we could just keep everyone on, I just wanted to reiterate what I had said earlier. I do need everyone's vacation dates for the rest of 2021 and your preferred times to facilitate a workshop. So that'll be for the rest of 2021. And as we approach 2020, I'll check back in. I have preferred schedules and vacation dates from 2 of you, but I need it from the rest of you guys. And I sent that email out on Saturday.
Okay, so if you guys can send that email, and then I will be looking to resend the link. I will commit to doing that right after we hang up. I'm going to log into the Zoom. I'm going to resend the invitation. And if you guys can take just a moment to see if you can follow the step to adding it to your calendar, I'm also going to invite you through a calendar link that hopefully will be able to embed itself into your calendar so that hopefully it will be there for you all. Everyone's link to log in is unique. So you just make sure that you are able to do that. If you have not received it or would like some specific assistance from us directly to help you with that, please reach out to us. We're here to help you with that directly, okay?
Maria, if we've already have you already synced with our calendar, do I need to not respond to your invites? It's
You do not-
already in my calendar. I'm already locked in. So it'll be double stuff if I respond to your things.
You're absolutely correct. So if you have already figured that out, you do not need to do so. This is just for those who would like this as an opportunity to be able to utilize it if you haven't done it already, okay? So thank you, Gail, for stating that. So yes, it would be a duplication. So if you have it taken care of, you're good to go. If you would like to follow that link, by all means, if you need to reach out to us, you can do so as well.
And again,
Alrighty.
and just a reminder, if you guys have questions, just send it to our email and we will address on Thursday. So we will see you on Thursday at 11:30 and that'll be our training day. So thank you guys, all of you. And so have a wonderful rest of your day.
All righty,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Awesome.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.